Hello, fellow Murdlers. Today is Wednesday, May 29th, 2024, and it's a great day to solve a murder. Today we have murder at the Magic Palace, and we have three 3x3 grids with suspects' locations and weapons. Since it's Wednesday, we're going to have statements today, 3 statements, one for each of our suspects, and as always, we'll know that one of them is lying, and whomever is lying is our murderer today. The other two must be telling the truth, and that's how we'll solve the case. So let's go ahead and meet our suspects today. We have Chef Aubergine, Secretary Celadon, and Deacon Verdigris. The weapons today are a trained vicious rabbit, a fake sword, and a bottle of cheap liquor. The locations today are the parking lot, the private library, and the main stage. Alrighty, we only got 2 pieces of evidence, so let's make them count. Secretary Celadon never set foot on the main stage. So Secretary Celadon, main stage. And a blonde hair was found in the private library. I believe Chef Aubergine is blonde, yes, and not the other. So it must be Chef Aubergine in the private library. And that will actually help us round out the suspects and locations grid. So we've got that all filled out. So that puts Deacon Verdigris at the main stage and Secretary Celadon in the parking lot. Alrighty, go ahead and cross that off. So coming back to our statements, we will go through each of them and just see if any of them must be true or must be false based on what we've already found, or based on how they relate to one another. And then if we don't yet have a good clue, or if we need to do some further deduction, we'll go line by line, assuming each one is a lie and trying to compel the other two to be true in that case. All right, so starting off with Chef Aubergine, a fake sword was in the parking lot. Don't really have any information to say yes or no to that, so let's keep going. Deacon Verdigris did not bring a fake sword. Okay, so if these two are both true, then that would mean Deacon Verdigris did not have the fake sword. But let's keep going. So then the last one, Deacon Verdigris, a trained vicious rabbit was not in the parking lot. Okay, so now this, I think somebody was mentioning this the other day, and I've been thinking about it a lot. A sword was in the parking lot, and then a rabbit was not in the parking lot. So let's say if we took the inverse of this, a sword was not in the parking lot and a rabbit was not in the parking lot, it would be telling us that the alcohol was in the parking lot, but it's not necessarily like something we can count on. That said, if we made this false, so trained vicious rabbit was in the parking lot, then this would also be false because you can't have 2 weapons in the same location. Because of that, I think we can go ahead and say this has to be true. Kind of going out on a limb and gambling on this one a tiny bit, but I'm fairly certain about that because, yeah, if this were false, this would also be false. So this has to be true. All right, so let's say Deacon Verdigris. Oh wait, no, this is just who gave the statement, not necessarily anything pertaining to Deacon Verdigris. Well, let's see. So we've got Celadon was in the parking lot. So let's say Celadon did not have the rabbit, and the rabbit was not in the parking lot. All right, so now let's go through these two. So these two could both be, possible lies. Actually, no, because if Deacon Verdigris, same thing, if Deacon Verdigris brought a fake sword, Deacon Verdigris, then this would also be a lie. So this has to be true, and Aubergine has to be the liar. So let's say the fake sword was not in the parking lot. That would put the bottle of cheap liquor in the parking lot, and that would give that weapon to Secretary Celadon. Now we say Deacon Verdigris did not bring a fake sword. So that means that Deacon Verdigris must have brought the trained vicious rabbit, and that Chef Aubergine must have had the fake sword in the library. So we know Chef Aubergine has a statement that works as a lie, and the others do not work in that way. So we've got Chef Aubergine with a fake sword in the private library. Okay, I'm gonna flip these over, but before we go ahead and see if we're right, I'm just gonna take an extra few seconds and fill out my grid. All right, really was a few seconds. All right, so we've got Chef Aubergine with a fake sword in the private library. Let's go ahead and see if we were right. All right, we were right. Thanks so much for playing along with me today. I hope this was a helpful walkthrough, and we'll see you tomorrow.